I really became concerned when I saw Jacob's drawings. I noticed Jacob continued to draw the same characters. They were dark, scribbly creatures with red eyes, usually. They remained constant in his drawings, not just the typical little boy drawings, but these black figures. So I finally asked him what they were, and he told me they were the shadow people. Jacob drew the shadow people all the time, even at school. But the one that was different was the Hat Man. The Hat Man is mean. The Hat Man always seems to stay away from Jacob as far as proximity. Jacob says he taunts him. He knows Jacob's afraid, that he harasses him. Standing outside of his bedroom door saying, "Jacob, you only have to take 5 steps to reach the bathroom light. Do you think you can do it?" "I don't think you can do it, Jacob." And so it's a constant bullying from the Hat Man. As he got older, he began to sleep with the TV on so that the room would be lighted. He felt more comfortable with it being lighted. I guess it keeps the shadow people, especially the Hat Man, away from him. I was scared in some ways because I know that he really thought he was seeing these things.
The nightmares that keep him up at night do concern me. It is interfering with his sleep schedule, and I feel like that can make him more tired and experience these feelings more. I think Jacob has a great imagination.
Jacob had a period of headaches. At that particular time, the headaches interfered with Jacob's daily activities. The pediatrician thought possibly that his headaches might be interrupting his sleep some too, and he had to have a brain test done. Jacob's test didn't indicate that he had any kind of brain disorder that could cause the headaches. Really unexplainable. Jacob was having nightmares, he was drawing shadow people, he was having severe headaches. I wasn't sure what to make of all the talk about the other family. I just know it seemed real to Jacob. He had been talking about these people for years. Jacob and I were watching a movie, and he turned to me and he said he had something to tell me. Jacob was afraid to tell me his story for a long time. He was afraid it would upset me, and now I know why. He said he finally realized what he had been seeing, but never been able to put into words. And he told me he had seen the day that he died. I was suddenly very afraid because I wasn't sure what he was trying to tell me, if he was trying to tell me something he'd remembered or something that he had foreseen. He told me that he could see himself in the woods, and he's probably 15 or 16. And he turned his head to the left to look over his shoulder, and as he turned his head back forward, he was struck against the side of the head. And he fell on his side and looking up, and he could see someone holding an aluminum baseball bat. And he had difficulty seeing because his eyes had blood in them. It took me a minute to respond at all because I kind of had to digest it. And he was looking at me with this really serious face. I guess worried about how I was going to react. I asked him first, of course, if he was sure. "Are you sure?" And he was positive. Jacob was visibly concerned about what he was telling me. I could tell that he was worried about whether it was something that had happened or would happen, and that the fear of it might be something that was going to happen in the next few years really bothered him. I began to wonder if it could be a past life experience.
I think that Jacob could have overheard that story somewhere or overheard a couple of stories and put them into one.
I grew up in a family of strictly religious family members. My mother was Pentecostal. The group that she is in, they're very conservative. Based on my upbringing, I wouldn't have been able to believe in reincarnation because that church especially does not believe that a person is reincarnated. But the more Jacob talked about his previous family and things that he remembered, the more it provided evidence for me to believe in reincarnation. I think it's possible that the pain that Jacob exhibited with his headaches could be pain that was carried over from having been struck with a baseball bat. And it's possible, too, that the shadow people and the Hat Man were somehow connected to how Jacob died in a previous life. Jacob finally stopped talking to me about having been taken away from the other family when he was around 10. I'm not sure if he gave up on the idea of it having actually happened or if he just got tired of people thinking that he was crazy. With Jacob's story, most of the time I would relay it to family members because obviously it was something that was in my thoughts, and most of them thought it wasn't possible.
I did start asking him more questions about his story, and I feel like I did open up a little bit more to his idea, but I'm still very skeptical.
I don't think it's important that other people believe it, but it's really important that he stop dwelling on the possibility of whatever happened, that he doesn't stop living now worrying about it happening again. It was a past event that happened that one time. I wouldn't let him die ever.
My name is Jacob. I live in Oklahoma City. I'm 13 years old and I'm in the 8th grade. I do remember how I died in my past life. I was in a forest and I heard yelling coming from my own mouth, and then a rush of cold and something hitting me in the side of the head, and I saw a person who was standing dropping an aluminum baseball bat.
I started doing research about teens who were killed with a baseball bat, and unfortunately, I came up with several examples. I had to narrow my focus down to details that matched Jacob's description. And I found a story about a boy named Sean. He was 14, and he was from Massachusetts. He had gone with a kid that he barely knew because Sean was new in his school. And it turned out that the boy was a real bully, and that his intention was to lure someone into the woods in order to kill him, because he wanted to know how it felt to kill somebody. So he lured Sean into the woods, and without any real warning, he hit Sean with a baseball bat and killed him. Our plan is to go to Massachusetts. I think it would be a good experience, and just by being able to go and maybe meet the family, if that's possible, go to the gravesite, it might give him even more closure.
I'm feeling kind of nervous.
Oh, me too. I am too.
I think it's gonna feel kind of awkward.
Why do you think it's awkward?
Well, because this is sort of like saying, hey, I could have been your son who died. Well, I'm still feeling kind of nervous right now because I'm talking to someone who could have been my mom in my past life.
Jacob, can I give you a hug?
Sure.
Oh my God. I can't tell you how I'm feeling right now, but it's good. I can smell Sean. I can smell my son.
I wasn't sure what to expect when she asked if she could hug him. And normally he's not a touchy-feely person at all. He's not a huggy kid. And he went right to her.
The expression in his eyes was Sean's. And I said, this is right, and this is real. There's a really beautiful memorial headstone for Sean in the Canton Cemetery that was put together and donated by a lot of wonderful people in this town.
I really want to go.
Okay.
I feel pretty good right now. I don't know if one thing I can say, but really I do feel some form of closure. Sean, even though you didn't get to live your life fully, I will try to live my life as long as I can, and then when I end, someone else will continue. I placed some flowers down at his grave, and I said a few words, and it felt awesome. I know awesome's my only word to describe things, but it's just because it's a word that fits everything. I'll have to stay in touch with Jeannie because I still might have things that I could talk about, and now I consider her a friend.
I feel that the smile that Jacob had on his face today was a smile I'm not sure I've ever seen, honestly, in his whole life. I don't know if I've ever seen him that radiant. And I think now he will know he has a long and happy life ahead, so he's got a more positive outlook.
Like I felt